This is Marie Cheney. Marie's been an English teacher for 4 years, but she wants to progress to a head of year position.
I'm hoping by the end of the programme that Gladina will show me that I can have confidence in myself, confidence that others people see that I just can't see.
In order to identify Marie's weaknesses, we've set up a mock interview for a head of year position. Marie will be interviewed by this panel. Michelle Joyce is a primary head teacher. Diane Smith is an ex-head with 14 years governing experience, and Mel Woodcock spent 15 years as a secondary head teacher. The interview will be observed by Gladina McMahon, a life coach who will help identify the areas Marie needs to work on in interviews.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Mel Woodcock, I'm head teacher. OK, so to start with, can we look at your presentation? We'll then ask you a couple of questions. And then move into the...
Right, OK. Technology is not very good, so do you mind if we turn to the paper one, because that's going to take... Is it coming? It just fell asleep. It fell asleep. OK, it just takes... It's taking a bit.
Oh, yes. Resuming windows.
Give it a chance, Marie.
OK.
The nerves are already showing and the interview's not even started yet.
All right, the critical incident that I'm going to talk about is a very disaffected Year 8 girl that came to me 2 years ago. I was approached by the head of Year 8 to ask if I would take her on board, to look after her, to talk to her, to be a role model.
How are you going to monitor success in the future, because she probably won't always be in your class or your form?
She's not in my form anymore, because when they go to the Success Centre, they aren't in mainstream school. They're still in the college, but they're not in mainstream school. And I do see this young lady around the college, and she does acknowledge me, which is a good thing, because some of the students that go to the alternative curriculum, they don't acknowledge the teachers around the college because they think they don't have to have anything to do with them anymore. So that's where I see that I've had an impact on her, because she will still stop and talk to me and pass the time of day with me.
Phew, Marie, take a breath.
As you're aware, behaviour is really important in school, that it's maintained. It's a good standard. How would you ensure that happens?
Well, first of all, I'd introduce the SEAL policy, which is a social and emotional attitude to learning, which is something that the school that I currently work at is trialling.
How would you go about ensuring that the students have high quality personal and educational guidance?
That comes from the SEAL programme again, with the social and emotional learning, and also from the form tutors, giving them the guidance that they need.
How would you address attendance issues?
Okay, the things that we brought in at the college where I work at now is a text message to parents if they're not in, to find out whether they're at home, and the parents ring back. So that's something I could...
Parents don't have a mobile phone?
Okay, phone home. Or also we have, at the college I work at now, we have someone that will physically go. If they're somebody who doesn't attend college regularly, they physically go and fetch them.
Your attendance has dropped to below 80%, so 20% of your kids are non-attenders. How would you manage that? You can't physically go out and drag every child in.
No, you can't. But you could send out letters. You could interview the parents to find out if there's an issue.
Well, I'm a parent and I don't want to tell you what's going on in my house, and my child's not coming to school. How would you deal with that?
Okay, I would tell you that you have a legal obligation to send your child to school, and if your child doesn't start attending school, then we will have to take processes to take you to court.
Right, thank you.
To Marie's relief, the interview's finally over. What will the panel make of her?
I hope I did enough to get the job. I answered the questions. There were a few questions that I hadn't anticipated, but fingers crossed.
How do you guys feel about her?
I felt on a presentation, if we start with the presentation, I liked the way that she delivered it, the content was fine, and she had eye contact with all three of us.
And I also like the fact that she backed it up with a paper version. Mm-hmm. So she had technical problems, she could revert to the paper version.
Yeah.
The speed of the delivery was a problem. It came out like machine gun fire. I mean, it was good stuff, but it did come out quickly.
Yeah, she needs to breathe.
And as well, sometimes to elaborate a bit more on her answers.
She was prepared for the questions. She had planned in advance, but it was almost like, I've answered your question, now move on.
Yeah.
It wasn't abrupt. Abrupt isn't quite the right word, but it was very, you've got it, now go away. She was heavily reliant on the SEAL process.
She could have spent quite a lot of time describing how that was mediated in her school.
Yeah.
But she seemed to want to shorthand it to get us off her back.
It sounds like you're saying if you'd taken that and said, well, for example, in a classroom it operates in this way, these are the things we do, then I would sort of look at it from this perspective and how it was all integrated.
I felt she had a lot more to give than she actually gave us.
I think, yeah, if she'd have relaxed more and take time, I think we'd have seen a lot more of the real Marie.
Yeah.
It's time for Gordina to deliver the verdict.
How did you feel?
Very, very nervous, extremely nervous.
So if you were to rate your, shall we say, your performance on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being really good, how much would you give yourself?
4.
Really?
4. Yeah, 4.
Because you know what was very interesting about that, Marie? You did a very good job.
Really?
Look at that surprise on your face. Look at that surprise. However, I think that surprise links in with what we are going to be working on, because your biggest enemy is your anxiety. It was like a little engine room. You couldn't get through things quick enough.
No.
It was like they asked a question, it was like back to them, wasn't it? That fear actually translates into a feeling for the panel that you want them to go away.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So your answers are so precise that there's no personality in it. There's none of you in it.
Right, okay.
And maybe also one of the things that the panel were thinking about, and I think, is that your anxiety stopped you from being a little bit creative. So for example, you relied on SEAL a lot, but what if another school didn't have it? How would it be made real for them? Making it come alive a little bit more. And if you're anxious, you won't do that. So I think we've got a couple of things with you, Marie. Help you with your anxiety. And part of helping you with your anxiety is if we could see some more of Marie's creative thinking.
So Gordina's identified anxiety and a lack of creativity as Marie's weaknesses.
Hi Marie, really nice to see you again. Come on, let's go in.
There's one great way to tackle those issues. Emma Lawson's a relaxation expert and she's going to teach Marie a calming visualisation technique.
Just close your eyes for me. Just deep breathing, so down to the bottom of your chest for me. Breathe in and breathe out. So you're going to go for a walk in the countryside. Start off on a country road. It's all cobbly. Be aware of how you feel. Feeling calm and protected. You walk along the path and you can smell geraniums and daisies and dandelions, the wind swaying in the trees. Breathe deeply. Get rid of all the tension. When you're ready to do so, place your hands down by the sides of your body again. Open your eyes really slowly. How do you feel?
That's really good.
Right, Marie, we're going to do the massage in schools routine, which I'm going to teach you how to do, and then I'm hoping that you're going to take it back to your own school and maybe try and massage your colleagues using it. Okay, so we'll get to it. Really easy to do, don't worry too much. Right, so first of all, we're going to do the looking glasses. So we go round for the lenses, and then
if Marie can take the massage routine back to school, then not only can she and her colleagues benefit from relaxing massages, but Marie can practice talking in a calm, relaxed manner in a school environment.
And we move to the arms, okay? So I need your arms to be down by your sides as much as you can. That's great. I'm going to do a little monkey. I'm going to go down the arm, back up the arm. I'm going to move down into the hand area. Do little bunny hops. Then place one hand, one at a time, so you always keep contact. You're always touching the person. And sweep down as though you're brushing the snow off the person's head. So all the time, you just go with the shape of the head. And then you step back for the next bit, just a little step back. brush all the way down the back. Like brushing away all the tension.
So Marie, how was that?
That was absolutely wonderful. I loved the visualisation. It was like I was there. She told me that I could feel the sun on my face and smell the flowers. It was wonderful. I could actually do it. It was really, really good.
So Marie, I wondered, could you teach me the visualisation exercise?
Okay, I'll have a go. Lie down.
Great.
Let's just warm your feet up. We're going to go on a journey and we're going to go and find a little cottage. And the cottage is whatever you want it to be. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to walk towards a wall. And it's a sort of wall you'd find in the secret garden. As you walk further along the wall, you'll see a gate with a very old, rusty handle. I want you to turn the handle and slowly open the gate. Be aware of how you feel while you're standing outside the cottage. Be aware of the grass smells and the flower smells that surround you. In the field are your favourite flowers. It doesn't matter what the season is because your flowers grow in that field, whether it's winter, spring, summer or fall. Be aware of yourself and your being. Be aware of your arms and your legs. I want you to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your hands. And when you're ready, Gladina, I want you to open your eyes and tell me how you feel.
Oh, I'll be coming back again, Marie, I'll tell you. So Marie, okay, you've now been through the interview, you've been through the exercises with Emma, you've done a fantastic job on me. What do you think you've learnt from all of this?
I think what I've learned is I've got to slow life down. I've got to slow me down, so stress levels have got to come down, and I've got to start talking slower.
How are you going to translate this, the slowing down, into those more stressful situations like when you go for an interview?
I think what I'll do is when they ask me a question, stop and reflect, because they don't need an answer straight away. So take time, take a deep breath, think of what I'm going to say and then answer the question, because that way the stress levels will come down, because I myself will be calmer.
But I suppose there's one other thing that I was thinking about, which is on a day-to-day basis, the idea of integrating what you've learned into your general life, so that maybe by slowing down generally, you'll get a lot more for yourself, but also then when you do go for the interview, you're kind of almost like training yourself into being more like that generally.
You're right, I do tend to rush at 100 miles an hour because I have so many things that I need to do in one day. So I think everything I've learnt from yourself and from Emma today will work for me. I've just got to work at it. I used to dread interviews because I wanted to get them over and done with. I know you have to go through the process of selection, but I was always worried that I wouldn't get the right answer out, and I don't think it's always a case of getting the right answer out. You've got to show them who you are, and doing this today has shown me that you need to slow down so they can actually see who you are as well as what you are on paper.